What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome to Because Reasons, the show where I play what I feel like when I feel like, and today, taking a look at HORiZON Zero Dawn on the PS4. I am playing on a PS4 Pro, and I am about 12 hours in. I'm not going to hit any, obviously, main story stuff here, because this game's still pretty fresh, and I don't want to spoil anything for those who might want to play it. And so far, I've been enjoying myself. Even though, in general, I'm fairly burned out on open-world games as a whole. Because I've just played so many of them. I am prioritizing frame rate over graphics because this game is an action game, and it gets pretty hectic, and having a nice rock-solid frame rate is a great thing. But if you wanted to say, let me do resolution, you can get some nice photo mode. This is a gorgeous game, So I think I'll perhaps try to hit up a side mission or two in this video. You can see here I have a good chunk of the map unveiled. Obviously not all of the map. I'm missing big old swaths of clouds here. Before I even get into any mission thing, I'm going to use a little bit of hunting here to kind of show you what the combat looks like. It is very much bow and arrow and a couple other devices that you have at your disposal. This is the post-apocalypse. So, the apocalypse happened, and then there was, the kind of Mad Max type post-apocalypse, and then this is after that. This is when things have regrown, and, wilderness, and that kind of stuff. And sawtooths don't fuck around. They're pretty rough. I'm not sure that I want to necessarily fight two sawtooths at the moment. There is a bunch of gathering here to get your crafting materials. There are a number of interlocking systems. And I might just head back to an earlier area here where the enemies are not going to be quite as vicious, because the combat is pretty hard. So what I've found thus far is you need to be careful. Like, even when you're fighting enemies that aren't necessarily, top tier enemies, they can still fuck you up. So you do need to use the stealth, the hiding in the tall grass here to the best of your ability. I'm going to head over here to perhaps hunt some Shriders over here, because those aren't too bad to fight. They're certainly not anywhere near as bad as the Sawtooths. And yeah, you're going to pick up a lot of different things, because you're going to need to craft different items. But I'm all full up here on items, so it's not that big of a deal. The tracking stuff, like the pathfinding, you got a few different options for pathfinding, and I feel like it works most of the time, but occasionally is not the best at pointing you in the direction that you actually should be going in, or the ideal direction. But, it's not terrible. But yeah, so the first couple hours of this game, I was kind of like not really feeling it. But as I kind of got, a few more skills underneath my belt, and that kind of thing, I definitely grew more adept at hunting these various creatures, and found it to be more enjoyable than the first couple hours, but I was just getting slaughtered. And even on easy, it is not an easy game. So, this calling mechanic is kind of broken, because it only ever brings in one enemy at a time, and if they're small enough, I can totally do what is called a silent strike here, and just right in the heart, and then it's dead. And, nobody else noticed that. Which also works on the human opponents, which makes clearing out the bandit camps kind of easy. But we'll take out these two and then go after that one on foot. I can also override, right? So I can hold triangle. Override. Some of these robot things can be ridden. I'm not going to use this one, but that is a way of getting around the lands, this vast open world a bit easier. So where was the third one? There he is. So pretty much anything here is going to be pissed at you.
Get out of this.
And they're not going to appreciate your shooting them. But a lot of them, just if they see you, it is pretty much, they're going to fuck you up on sight. That guy's running away, which is unusual for one of these. There are smaller ones called Watchers, and they will totally alert other... No, he's coming back. They will alert other enemies. But the Striders here, I've gotten far enough in the game where they aren't that big of a deal, and I can pretty much wreck shop with them pretty easily. But yeah, these guys will just spot you from pretty far away, and if you don't take them out, they will alert everybody else, and then you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time. So over there should be a grazer, and I can make that explode if I'm doing it right. We'll see. We'll see, because it's kind of bright in here, because... No, don't! Go! Aloy, get... Using your focus here, you can isolate what parts on these animals, these robotic animals, can be exploited by their weaknesses. So this guy is fire. So if I choose the fire arrows and I aim at the canister there, that should theoretically make the whole thing explode, which I've seen happen. There you go. Just the whole thing explodes. It'll cause damage to other enemies. It'll freak them out, and that's a good time. And these damn watchers are just... Yeah. And so you really want to have slow motion and use that liberally to really hit the items that you want to tear off these creatures, because that can be useful not just by getting them weaker, but by being able to, you know, get the parts you want to craft more things or to get more upgrades, or, you know, there's a lot of interlocking systems here that are okay. I'm full up on that stuff. That sucks. That sucks, yeah. Being able to upgrade your pouches and stuff is definitely important, because you will... like, the inventory management I've found is a little bit cumbersome, and I'm not super fond of it, but, you know, it's a video game, and that kind of stuff is tricky. So, you will kind of constantly be picking up things in the world to make sure that you're all full up on things that you need to, you know, get more stuff. It's not so bad on weapons or outfits, but when you get into, like, modifications and, like, this stuff, yeah, it's color-coded, but it does get a bit ridiculous. So to get into some heavier combat, I'm going to head over here into this level 18 corrupted zone and attempt to clear it out. Now, there will be some scenarios where sneaking around and sneaking past these creatures is going to make a lot more sense than going in whole hog and trying to fuck them up. Because, as I said at the top of the video, these things can be very deadly, and if you wander into an area where the enemies are, you know, way tougher than you are prepared for, you're gonna die pretty quick. And even playing on easy, it does get real rough. So let us see if we can't take out this corrupted zone, which is around, I think we are level like 19 right now, so... Of course, a truck pulls up. Oh, shit, man. It's one of them damn bellowbacks. Those things are rough. Alright, so let's see if we can't take care of... There's a charger in there. There's a bunch of chargers. And I do know that the corrupted, they don't like fire. So, definitely gonna deal with some fire arrows here. Before even that, I'm gonna set up... Let's do this... How you like that? How you like that? Set you on fire! Yeah, the amount of damage they take is you really want to isolate where the core is, and there's usually like a hidden heat core to shoot, and then that'll be able to take them out. But yeah, you see that? I got kicked once by this dude, and twice, and now I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead. That's messed up. Granted that this is about where I should be. Oh, shit. And see, they'll call the herd, and then the herd starts getting on you, and you're just boned. Because they will just mess you up real bad if they get your scent and figure out what you're doing. And yeah, now I got the bellowback is shooting flames at me, and that's not cool. I got a few other options here for combat. I can use... Shit! I can use this deal here to kind of just non-discriminately spray, and that guy's gonna just charge me, and yeah, we'll see if we can't hurt him a bit. We've also got some freeze bombs. Those are useful for kind of slowing guys down a little bit, and being able to get more damage going on in kind of an area of effect type deal, and that worked. That worked, but this bellowback is gonna be the biggest problem here. Alright, so... Sometimes, when they get hit with certain stuff, I need to get out of here, is that I can do a... Crap. I can do a strike that does more damage when they are, like, frozen, but I don't have my shock ropes right now. I need to heal again. So you can kind of craft on the fly here. It slows things down. That's helpful, but it's not necessarily always going to be prudent to be doing when you need to be fucking these guys up. So there we go. Nope, that wasn't it. All right, that was. I thought that was a fuck. I can't move. Shit. I thought that was a freeze deal, but it didn't quite do it, which is unfortunate. Let's see if we can. Nope. That's fire in my face. That is fire in my face. Run me the fuck over. And so, fighting multiple enemies gets real rough, real fast, regardless of what difficulty you're on. That's one more down. That's one more down. No, he's still alive. Now he's not. So it's kind of just these two guys. Oh, shit. I'm walking into the fire here. Out of the frying pan, so to speak. Let's see if I can get my shock deals to shock you. Shock the world. It's the Shock Master. It's not necessarily doing what I wanted it to do, but I'll take what I can get at this point. So you need to be like well stocked with your ammo situation, because otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. When you pizza, when you post a French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. So I've also got this stuff here. I just got these, so I can kind of do this, and it will hold him down, and then I can get in here and fuck him up with a strike. And that's super useful for smaller enemies. It doesn't work on big guys, but smaller guys definitely is helpful. So it kind of just it will hold them in place. And considering how often in this game enemies are just charging the fuck out of you, that is extraordinarily helpful. But you're constantly kind of just having to get your ammo situation right. There we go. Constantly. And he seems upset. I can't imagine why. Yeah, so I guess enough ropes will hold some of the bigger enemies in place. Not enough to do a strike on them to get more damage done, but enough to, well, for a little bit anyway. Shit! Completed corrupted zone. And you see those wires were still on him, and then I can go and get some stuff here. Thank you much! Finish a combat scenario. I hit level 20 there, which is cool. Got some skill points. I don't see all the other corpses where my other guys are. There's some. Like, my stuff. Clearing out certain levels obviously get you certain level gear, and that is, you know, kind of like in a Diablo-ish, you know, thing like most loot games, but, you know, it's not really a loot game, I guess. So we're gonna head to this marker here, and perhaps hit this vantage point, and then wrap things up. But yeah, there's a whole big story, and I don't want to spoil it, but so far it's been pretty interesting, so I'm very curious to see how it ends, and how they wrap things up, and how they perhaps leave things open for any kind of a potential sequel. So obviously this is a first, you know, this is a new IP, so I would imagine that they've built in the ability to go, okay, we're gonna get this, you know, every couple of years have a new one. Seems pretty likely. When you spend that much money building a new thing, you're gonna wanna, you know, sequelize it. Oh, we found a thing. So yes, like any open world game, there is a bunch of different little trinkets to collect here and there. You know, you're gonna find your usual batch of whatever. There's a bunch of side quests, mostly, you know, either go kill something or go do a fetch quest type things, and that's, you know, alright. That's really not, that's kind of why I'm a bit burned out on open world stuff, just because here's your big long checklist to go fill out for open world games. That's not the most interesting thing to me anymore, having played a lot of them. I think that if you're not burned out on open world games and you still love a good open world game, and the idea of hunting large beasts stealthily and getting into some ridiculously epic battles, this is and playing a game that this looks freaking gorgeous. HORiZON Zero DLWN should pretty much meet all of those criteria for you. And even as someone who's a bit burned out on this genre, I've been enjoying what I've played of it thus far. So that being said, I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. I don't know where this vantage point is. Is it right here? Is this what I'm looking for? Really? I guess it is. There we go. So this is from this is from far, far in the past. It is a concert happening here, clearly, and you get kind of little bits of what the world used to be like before whatever the events were that caused the post apocalypse. So that's cool. I found it. Glad that I found it. Anyway, the sun's coming up here. The Zero Dawn is happening. No, it's not. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos every day. And I'll see you next time. Right here on this channel. And I'm out.